So you can see colors like the magenta and the navy are being strongly influenced by the base white and the t-shirt underneath the ink. When you print these more translucent inks on a base white, the color will become lighter than the bucket. This is because the base white is being seen through the ink. Light is moving through the magenta, hitting the white underneath, bouncing off of that base white and back to your eyes, making it appear lighter than your control print. If you print a low opacity ink directly on a black shirt, the color becomes more difficult to see. The black shirt is being seen through the ink just like the base white, but in this case it makes the ink color appear darker because the light is being absorbed by the black underneath. So if you choose a low opacity color like the magenta to be in your design, you'll have to work a lot harder to make sure it comes out looking the way you want it to.
Flip your T-square so it runs down the center of the screen. Take your film and place it on the screen under your T-square. Use the T-square to keep the straight center line, and you'll want to make sure that your top registration mark is a couple inches from the top of the screen so that you'll have room to print. In this demonstration, we are putting the top of our registration marks 4.5 inches down, meaning our design will start at 5.5 inches down. It should be the same distance above your design, so its location is consistent from one film to the next. Make sure you mark your T-square where you want your registration marks to be every time. This way you'll be consistent and repeatable. A good practice is to place your registration marks about 1 inch above your design. This is not a hard and fast rule, but it is a solid recommendation as it leaves room for your registration marks to be covered with tape without touching your design. But do whatever works best for you.
Airflow is also an important factor to consider when curing with a flash. If you have a lot of air movement in your shop, say your garage door is open because it's a nice day, or you have a fan blowing in your shop, your cure times with the flash can be a little longer and can be inconsistent because of air movement around the flash unit. Make sure to eliminate as much airflow around your flash to really dial in your cure time.
When you buy a bucket of ink, most likely that ink has been in storage for a while before it got to your shop. When an ink has been sitting for a while, the ink develops what is called a false body, which is a technical way of saying it stiffens up. The best way to prep this ink for printing is stirring the ink. This will break up this false body. Think of ink like peanut butter. When it's been sitting for a while, it's stiffer than usual and it may have a little bit of oil on top. When mixed well, it creates a nice creamy texture. Inks are going to work the similar way. Over time, some chemistry will settle out a little bit. Giving the ink a stir will help mix everything back together and get it ready for the press. Fingerprints, dust, dirt, adhesion from tape, all will eventually get the glass dirty, and these things will block the light coming from the exposure unit. All this grime on the glass acts as mini film positives, and they expose these little holes on your screen. This is the most common reason for pinholes. Clean your glass often. More times than not, you won't even catch the grime that causes the pinholes until you are done exposing your screen.